On behalf of Bombay Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I, Utkarsha Joshi, extend a very warm welcome to each one of you. The topic for today's conclave is India's gold revolution, monetization, tokenization, and financial transformation. India is estimated to hold nearly 25,000 tons of gold, valued at over USD $1.5 trillion across households and religious institutions. Yet, despite this immense domestic stock, the country continuously relies heavily on imports to meet its demand. This highlights the urgent need to mobilize India's idle gold reserves, integrate them into formal economy, reduce reliance on imports, and unlock a productive capital. In this backdrop, Bombay Chamber's P and VC committee is delighted to organize this conclave on the topic India's gold revolution, monetization, tokenization, and financial transformation. The conclave brings together policymakers, regulators, market infrastructure institutions, and industry leaders to deliberate on the future of India's gold economy. To set the tone for today's discussions, I now invite Mr. Ashit Kampani, Chairperson PE and VC Committee, Bombay Chamber, and Chairman of Cosmic Mandala 15 Securities Private Limited, to deliver the welcome address and establish the theme for this event. A round of applause.
Thank you, Utkarsh. Good afternoon. Distinguished guests, regulators, industry leaders, members of the Bombay Chamber, and ladies and gentlemen. This is my privilege to welcome all of you to today's conclave, India's Gold Revolution, Monetization, Tokenization, and Financial Transformation. Few assets occupy a unique place in India's economic and cultural story as gold. For centuries, gold has symbolized prosperity, security, trust, intergenerational wealth. It's deeply embedded in our social fabric, our tradition, and our saving habits. Across generation, India household have turned to the gold as a store of value and the source of financial resilience. Yet, beyond its culture significance, gold today represents one of the India's largest untapped economic resource. Indian households are estimated to hold nearly 34,600 tons of gold, and it is valued beyond $3.8 trillion. To put this into perspective, the value of gold held by Indian household is estimated to be equivalent to the 89% of India's GDP, and more than 3 times the value of household equity holding. India is therefore not merely one of the world's largest consumers of the gold, it is also one of the largest repositories of the privately held gold wealth. At the same time, India continues to remain heavily dependent on import to meet domestic demand. Despite possessing one of the largest world's stock of the gold, we remain among the largest importers of the precious metal, leading to a significant foreign exchange outflows and recurring pressure on the current account. This paradox lies at the heart of today's discussion. How can a nation that already possesses such a vast gold wealth unlock greater value from these assets without continually depending on the fresh import? It is in this context that our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, recently appealed to reduce discretionary gold purchase assumed significance. His message highlighted an important economic reality that while gold remains one of India's most trusted assets, the country must increasingly focus on deriving greater value from the gold it already possesses. The question before us is therefore not whether India should own gold, rather how India can transform gold from a passive store of wealth into an active financial asset and contribute more effectively to the economic growth, capital formation, and financial inclusion. This vision has long underpinned India's effort towards gold monetization. The objective is straightforward, yet transformative: To unlock enormous value of idle gold held in households, institutions, and temples, to reduce dependence on import, to deepen domestic liquidity, and to integrate gold more effectively into the India's formal financial system. Yet, despite of strong policy intent, gold monetization has not achieved the scale many had hoped for. The reasons are understandable. Gold ownership in India is deeply personal and often emotional. Concerns around purity assessment, valuation, accessibility, liquidity, and trust have limited participation. As a result, a substantial portion of India's gold wealth continues to remain locked away in the lockers. The vaults preserving wealth, but not necessarily creating economic value. However, what makes this moment different is emergence of digital infrastructure and financial innovation. We stand today at the convergence of the three powerful forces. First, India's world-leading digital public infrastructure, which has transformed the way we transact, invest, and access financial services. Second, the growing sophistication and maturity of our financial market and market institutions. And third, the emergence of technologies such as tokenization, blockchain-enabled ownership records, digital custody system, and interoperable financial platforms. Together, these developments create an unprecedented opportunity to reimagine how gold can be owned, traded, financed, pledged, invested in, and monetized. The future of gold in India may no longer be defined solely by physical possession. It may increasingly be characterized by digital ownership, fractional participation, transparent custody, seamless transferability, and integration with the broader financial market. The opportunity before us is therefore much larger than the gold sector itself. It is about building a modern financial architecture that can unlock the value of one of the India's oldest assets using some of the world's newest technologies. That is why the discussion we will have this afternoon are both timely and important. Our first panel will explore the policy, regulation, taxation, market infrastructure, and industry reforms required to build a robust and a scalable gold monetization marketplace. We are privileged to have representatives from Reserve Bank of India, SEBI, IFSCA, market infrastructure institutions, and industry leaders who will share their perspective on how India can unlock the full potential and the gold economy. Our second panel will look at how the next frontier, examining blockchain technology, tokenization, digital custody, and emerging technologies can transform gold ownership and monetization in the years ahead. We are particularly fortunate to have with us distinguished leaders who are helping to shape the future. This gives me a great pleasure to welcome Ms. Praveena Rai, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer at MCX, to deliver the keynote address on building India's digital gold infrastructure. And we are equally honored to welcome Mr. Pramod Rao, former Executive Director, SEBI, who will deliver a special address on the future of the financialization of gold. I'm confident that today's discussion will generate valuable ideas, practical recommendations, and meaningful collaborations that can help shape the next chapter of the Indian gold story. The transformation of the India's gold ecosystem will require substantial engagement amongst policymakers, regulators, market infrastructure institutions, technology providers, financial intermediaries, industry participants, and investors. The challenge and opportunities surround monetization, financialization, tokenization, taxation, market development, and investor protection will require continued dialogue and a collective action. As one of India's oldest and most respected business institution, the Bombay Chamber is committed to playing a constructive role in this journey. We see this conclave as a beginning of a broader platform for thought leadership, policy engagement, and industry collaboration on the future of the gold in India. Our aspiration for the Bombay Chamber to be forefront of these conversations, bringing together government regulators, industry leaders, innovators, and market participants to help shape modern, transparent, efficient, globally competitive gold ecosystem in India. Gold has been part of India's past for centuries. The opportunity before us is to define its future. Thank you very much, all of you, to be here.